Yeah, my wonderful people. Good morning, or good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Sorry to say. Well, the news we are about to hear now, this one is really a very sad news. Very, very sad one at that. When I told my people that Abuja is not a Biafra land and Abuja is not meant for Biafrans, they will turn against me. They will castigate me. They will call me all manner of names. But it is been unfolding every now and then. One, it started with the so-called minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike. When he assumed office, the only people he chooses, he can use to warn office or to show his paymasters that he is working, is by demolishing the properties of the Biafrans in the FCT. Now, this is not the first time, nor will it be the last time this occurrence, this kind of thing have been happening in Abuja by the so-called police who supposed to or who vow to protect lives and properties. But it is the other way around. Now they have vowed to destroy lives and properties. Not to secure lives and properties of the Biafrans, no. They vow to secure lives and properties of the zoo and the Fulanis. Imagine a Biafra man having an argument with an Okada man. The guy on Okada, after they must have settled finish, left. In the presence of the police, they couldn't stop him with his motorbike. Then when the guy who is a Biafran, an Igbo man, tried to enter his car, they said he must follow them to the station, which he obliged. I said, okay, no problem. Let us go, since I have never committed any offense. Could you people imagine? Let me lock the the windows of my car that is being wiped down. They refuse him. All of a sudden is for them to move the guy for nothing's sake. The hatred that the Biafrans are facing in that nonsense of a country is getting too much. Should I say it is the fault of the Igbos? Should I say it is the fault of the Biafrans who refuse to learn their lessons? This is uncalled for. The Biafra government need to look into this matter. It is getting too much. Abuja, how a police officer shot businessman dead over scuffle with Okada rider in Kubwa in Abuja. He never committed any offense. Please, if you get this message, help me like it, comment on it, share it, and make sure you keep subscribing to my channel for more interesting videos coming your way. Hear the news in details. The family, friends, relatives, and business associates of an Abuja trader, Onyebuchi Anene, have lamented the gruesome killing of the Anambra businessman by a police officer. He has never committed any offense. He never denied them his arrest. He never committed any offense. So make sure they see what they happen on this zoo. Onyebuchi, from the information gathered by Daily Post, was murdered few meters away from his residence in an estate located at Bazin along Arab Road, Kubwa, Abuja, at about 10:30 p.m. on Wednesday, May 22, 2024, on his way back home. Onyebuchi, simply called Onyi by his friends, is a trader who does his business in the Jabi district of Abuja. Daily Post gathered that the day he met his untimely death, Onyebuchi was returning home from his business and was already close to the gate of the estate where he resides with his wife and 2 daughters. Eyewitnesses in the area narrated to Daily Post that the businessman had an altercation with a commercial motorcyclist, popularly known as Okada, at a junction leading to the entrance of his residence. It was said that after a few minutes of argument, Onyi and the bike man came to terms, settled their differences, and were about to leave the scene when a police van arrived. Both men were said to have informed the police of what happened and also told them that the matter had been resolved between them. However, the policemen, instead of taking them to the station, insisted, on taking them to the station. For what? The Okada rider, who had a passenger waiting for him, was said to have swiftly dismissed the policemen, telling them he had no business going to the station, and started his motorbike and zoomed off with his passenger. That is the Aboki, because the Okada riders are Abokis, the Fulanis. Because the people who discharged him and allowed him to go are the same Abokis and Fulanis and murderers in school and in a police uniform. Look at the listing. However, Daily Post understand that the police insisted on taking Onyi to the station and on their van too. What was his offense? Onyi, according to eyewitnesses, was puzzled and demanded to know why the police wanted him at the station, why the Okada man was allowed to go. He also questioned the purpose of going to the station since he had settled amicably with the motorcycle rider. And when he agreed to follow them to the station, he asked them to allow him to wind up his glasses, which were all winded down by the police, but the police refused. They were said to have also refused to allow him to follow them riding on his Mercedes Benz. As they argued, the driver of the police van, who hadn't been in the picture all this while, according to the residents, came out from a vehicle bearing a tear gas gun which shot directly on the trader's forehead at a very close range, with the canisters piercing through his nose. Make una see you. Doctors confirmed him dead at around 8 a.m. the next morning at the National Hospital, Abuja. He left behind his wife and 2 daughters. Ogochukwu Onyebuchi, wife of the deceased, told Daily Post her story. On that fateful day or fateful night, I spoke with my husband around 8 p.m. He told me that he was on his way back home. But around 10:45, my neighbor came knocking on my door, calling me to open the door. When I opened the door, the whole estate was outside, and I saw them washing my husband's car. And I asked, "Where is my husband?" And they told me to calm down, that they were going to take me to where my husband is. When I insisted, they said I should calm down, that my husband was alive. They said they were taking me to the National Hospital. Even while we were on our way to the hospital, nobody told me what happened. When we got to the National Hospital, I saw my husband struggling for his life. He couldn't breathe. His tongue was coming out, but he recognized my voice. Immediately, I called him baby. I don't know what happened, but be strong for me. Be strong for my children. He gave me signs that he was strong, but he was struggling with his life. The doctor told us to go outside because they wanted to attend to him. But after an hour, the doctor called me to say that my husband's brain was blocked for the past 1 hour. But they don't know what happened, that he started working again. He told us to pray. After 30 minutes, they said they were going to do an X-ray. After the X-ray, I checked on him every 10 minutes. And when I talked to him, he no longer responded. He was breathing heavily, battling for his dear life. I was begging God to help me because my husband is a good man. The doctor said they would operate him around 4:30, and as we were waiting for the doctor, they shifted the operation, saying they have to stabilize him first. They shifted it from 4:30 to 8 a.m. But around 8 a.m., I noticed that something was wrong. When I touched his head, on his forehead, it was blocked. His body was blocked. Only his laps were warm. 30 minutes later, the doctor called me and confirmed my husband has passed away. His friends rushed him to ICU, but nothing happened. It is too late. On the response they got from the police, she added, I don't know their names. Maybe he's from Biagi police station, DPO. He just came and said, Madam, sorry for what happened. We are carrying out our investigation. Today again, the commissioner of police came and said I shouldn't worry, that justice must prevail. Adeze, one of the late business man's neighbors and friends to the wife, also spoke to Daily Post. I'm her friend and neighbor. On Wednesday, May 2024, at about 10:30 p.m., I was lying down and suddenly I was hearing a voice. Somebody help me. Somebody help me. I became scared and worried. And waiting some time, one of my neighbors called me on the phone. I was surprised because she's not the kind of person to call by that time of the night. When I picked, she told me that Ogochukwu's husband had been shot. I stood up from the chair and ran outside immediately. We heard a gunshot, a sound, but we didn't know what it was. When I ran outside and asked what happened, they said he was shot as he was coming back from work. They said I was called because I am the only one that can bring her, Ogochukwu, out in these circumstances. Her husband's car was covered with blood. When we met him at the hospital, he was seen. His eyes were covered by blood. The eyes bubbled out, with the blood coming out from his nose, ears, and mouth. The sight was terrible. The canister pierced his nose and entered his tongue. He didn't have a tongue. It was like his tongue entered inside his mouth. His mouth was just opened, but you cannot see his tongue. While everywhere was covered with blood, the canister was still stuck on his nose. Wickedness. That was the last conversation. By the time we went back there, he had gone into unconsciousness. Tear gas canister was shot at him at a very close range, at his face, and the thing stuck his nose, and the doctor said the thing is very dangerous. It goes directly to the brain and damages the system within some minutes. The doctor said he had a 50-50 chance of survival. The police commissioner came here earlier and said the officer is already in detention and he promised to do anything to ensure that justice is served. Daily Post also speak with Ugo Madabuchi, the coordinator of the business community where the deceased belonged to. He said, I think it is important to highlight these issues because there has been a misconception about this thing, especially from the commissioner of police, when he alleged that the hospital that it could be a case of accidental discharge. You see, accidental discharge. It seems the commissioner of police wants to preempt the investigation he said he wants to conduct by saying it was an accidental discharge, when there is eyewitnesses that sees what happened. I want to send a message to the commissioner of police, who is, by the way, a good commissioner of police. He's been trying. But this incident of distortion by his men must stop because that is what this thing is all about. Onye was coming back from work and had a small scuffle with an Okada rider that was carrying a passenger. And because of that argument, the Okada rider said he wanted his motorcycle repaired, but Onye's car got damaged too. The Okada man said it is not his fault, likewise Onye, but the passers-by police patrol now saw the scuffle and stopped. Initially, Onye was like, thank God the police are here. Unfortunately, they were not there to settle the matter. Rather, they were there to buy somebody. They decided to take two of them to the police station. But the Okada man, who said that police are not his friend and refused to follow them to the station, insisted he was on the verge of settling the matter before they came and they did settle and shook hands, and the Okada man left with his passenger. The police allowed the Okada man to leave, but held onto Onyi, maybe because he is the one with the Benz and they have seen that he is an Igbo businessman. You see him? Because they extort more from us. That is why they insisted he must follow them to the station. What for? No. Onyi was like, I don't understand. Follow you to the police station for what? The person I had issues with has gone and said he doesn't want a case again. And in the process, they insisted and jacked him from the belt. Then Onyi realized that his thing, this thing is getting out of hand, and told them he had agreed to follow them to the station. But since the car was parked along the road with the glasses all wound down and nobody in it, he said, okay, let's ride with my car to the station or allow us to follow you with my car. They said no, that they must take him in their vehicle. He said, can I follow you and leave my car wind down? What if it is vandalized? They told him they don't care, and in the process, the trigger-happy policeman that was the driver felt he was wasting their time and brought out the canister and aimed straight at Onyi's forehead intentionally and shot him. As a matter of fact, we are coming from the Deputy Commissioner of Police office, and they brought out all the patrol team, and they confessed that when he shot that gun, they were all surprised because he wasn't even their AB initial. He is just a trigger-happy policeman that feels he has the whole power because of the uniform he's wearing and the gun he is holding. This is a clear case of murder, and we from the business community, we are going fully for justice. The commissioner has assured us he is in detention that they will try him. Definitely find him guilty, dismiss, and hand him over to the law to take his full course. We were more than 30,000. We are on a very large business community, UOO, and stubbornly located at Jabi. We have been trying since yesterday to restrain our members from taking law into their hands. As a matter of fact, there were 3 attempts to burn down the police station yesterday, but we foiled them. Now it's up to the Nigerian police to prove to us if they are really our friends or our enemies, or that they are just the policemen to be killing Biafrans. Daily Post also met with Mr. Michael Nwanna, the deceased father's brother, who told a similar story, saying it happened on Wednesday when the young man was going home and Okada brushed him. And after 1 or 2 arguments, they settled, but the police all of a sudden appeared and said, no, you have not settled. All of you will go to the station. And Okada refused to follow them, climbed his bike and left. Then they insisted that he only must follow them to the station, and he refused. Then the driver of the police vehicle, who was inside the van while they were arguing, just opened door and aimed at the tear gas gun directly at him and by him. The young man he was carrying took him to the hospital. We have his pictures when he was struggling to survive. The police said they will do their investigations. Well, let's see what will come out of it. At the Federal Capital Territory, FCT Police Command, the police relation officer, DSP Josephine Ade, confirmed the incident to Daily Post. She said the police officer in question was already cooling his feet in detention, adding that investigation has commenced immediately. According to Ms. Ade, where the police officer, is under detention, and investigations have commenced into the files of what really happened. The investigation is headed by the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of the state's CID FCT's command. He is personally investigating this ugly incident, and we have to wait till the end of the investigation for us to ascertain what happened and brief members of the public exactly what led to that. But definitely, the Commissioner of Police has assured that after the investigation, the outcome will be communicated to the members of the public and justice will be duly served. This is how the Biafrans have become a victim in their so-called zoological Republic of Nigeria country. Two people having an argument, you leave the one to go, because if you know, if anything happens to that one, they will even listen, and they're telling our people to wait. The Fulanis will never wait a second to wreak havoc in that police station. Well, look at our people. Make on our way, justice will serve. Justice will serve. Somebody have been dead already. Tomorrow they will free that man and tell you they have prosecuted him and sent him to prison without nobody seeing where that prosecution take place. A country that the police and military who vow to protect lives and property is the ones that destroys lives and properties. A country that even the so-called minister of the Federal Capital Territory, we hear about this issue and we tell them to dismiss it simply because it has everything to do with the Igbos or the Biafrans. At this point, it is very wired and very, very irresponsible of the so-called commissioner of police to say that it is like accidental discharge. Accidental discharge is what you call it. Well, I have nothing more to say, but I would like every Biafran that watch this news to share it. The world need to know what we the Biafrans are passing through in that zoo. It never started today. This is not the first time, and this will not be the last time. We keep on having this occurrence every now and then. My people need to learn, and they also need to wake up from their sleeping slumber before it is too late. I rest my case here on God. Please like, share, comment, and make sure you subscribe to my channel for more of these videos coming your way. My people, have a nice day, and may the good Lord bless you all. As you share this message, so shall the heavenly or the host of heaven share your problems. Okay, Messiah.